Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's time for another issue of Conversations. I'm Bob Weber, and this week we're going to be looking at John chapter 16. I think this particular chapter might be something akin to Jesus' pep talk or a coach's pep talk to his team. More often than not, a coach has a good pep talk for his team at the beginning of a game. Sometimes he goes into the locker room and he says, look, I know all these guys are bigger than you, and then he'll give all perhaps whatever statements he makes about how they have to work hard, how they have some adversity to overcome. And I think that's a lot of what Jesus is doing, because he's going to tell his disciples at this point that there's going to have to be some adversity. You're going to have to face some things. You're going to have to compete. All the way back in Genesis chapter 3, when God is talking to Cain after he's not accepted his sacrifice, he's very upset. He's pretty angry about it. And God says to him, sin seeks to have you, but you have to master it. And so from that time on, it seems like there's a kind of competition going on. It's a competition for our souls. As Alexander Solzhenitsyn has said, that evil runs through every human heart. There's no system, there's no form of government, as long as it's run by people, where evil does not exist. And so, in a way, Jesus is trying to say, get ready for the contest. Most of us know that adversity is a part of life, even were we not Christians. Even if you don't see the Christian life as the way you need to live, there's going to be adversity. And Jesus is telling his disciples the particular adversity they're going to have is people are going to reject them. They're going to kick them out of synagogues. They're going to try to kill them. In one of the letters to Timothy, Paul tells him that anybody who tries to live a righteous life are going to be persecuted. And so it's just something they have to learn to do. There's an overcoming part of this. If you go back and look at the book of Revelation, chapters 2 through 4, the Spirit, speaking through John the Apostle, same guy that writes this letter actually, tells all of those churches something very consistent. Even though they're all different, they have different issues, different problems. He says, for all of you who overcome, and then he gives them a promise. Each of the promises happens to be slightly different, but one of them is he who overcomes will get the crown of life, or he who overcomes will get a white stone with his particular name on it. The point is, they've got to overcome. They've got to conquer. They've got to be willing to face adversity and do something to overcome it. At the very end of this particular chapter, Jesus says something to them about courage and conquering. He says, be courageous. I have overcome the world. And if we follow Jesus, we will too also overcome the world. But there's still adversity to face. It's not just going to happen any way that we think it's going to happen without some effort on our part, without depending on Jesus to help us through the times of adversity. Jesus has overcome the world. If you go and take a look at the book of Revelation after chapters 2 through 4 that I just mentioned, you'll also notice that there is a whole scene of battles, of dragons, of fire and brimstone, of all kinds of earth-shattering things going on there. But it is a battle nonetheless. And the book ends with Jesus winning that battle, just like he tells his disciples here they're going to win. Remember these three things as you think about this chapter. Number 1, you will face opposition. Number 2, you can overcome the obstacles because Jesus himself has overcome. And number 3, you will win if you stay strong and are courageous. Hang in there. The resurrection is coming. And not only that, the battle has already been won. Thanks for listening. See you next time.